Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. We can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you got a good spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun.
Good morning. Wow. My voice there. Absolutely terrible. Good morning, everybody. It is Federal Reserve Day. And I'm honestly a little bit nervous for this one because they're predicting a pretty sleepy, non-eventful FOMC. And yet there has been a little bit of rumblings, I guess volatility is still really low, but there was a sell in the overnight session, for instance. So when I'm starting to see that activity, even though the Federal Reserve is expected to be sleepy, I kind of feel like, okay, don't pop up notifications like that, Discord. Nobody wants to read that. Although Bob is great. Let's fix that. Anyways, so I'm just a little bit concerned that you could get like things that like really surprise you. Enable desktop notification. No, thank you. Okay. That should fix that. Trying to think what to say here. All right. Anyway, see, there's a little, we're already two ticks down right there. Let's recenter while we come and look at the charts really quick so you can see Treasury's down a little bit. They made a little bit of a recovery, but somebody is selling it. Yesterday, there was a little bit of a steepener in the spreads. S&P 500 just continues to look good. It's funny because there was some people that were like, oh, it was so ugly, blah, blah. No, market looked pretty good. Oil's higher, man. You know what? Yesterday I was kind of like, the oil supply glut headline is they don't buy it, and maybe we'll go. Nope. They just completely ignored OPEC and rush higher. But I think that the rush higher may be because they're expecting more geopolitical uncertainty, right? And then we got gold and silver. Oh, yes, that's right. Totally forgot about that. We should come over here first. So here's the yen, a little bit of a move overnight, but look at the dollar. My, oh my. Like the dollar was looking weak already, and then they asked Donald Trump about the dollar, and he was like, the dollar is fine, you know, like I could make it move up and down and all over the place if I really wanted to, but I kind of want to just leave it and let it do its thing. And I think that traders interpreted that as that the trend will continue to be down in the dollar. So the dollar's down big, and as a result, gold busted higher. And what about silver? Okay, so silver didn't quite make a new high, but they're doing okay. This like 118 on, what was that, Friday or something? No, it was the beginning of this week. It was Monday. This was Monday. was a little zany, honestly. So this kind of looked to me like retail traders got involved and then took their profits at the end of the day. Because like getting up to 118, I was really surprised how fast that moved up. But they're still trudging along. So this is now, let's call it the third time that they've told us that the run in gold and silver is overdone and over, and they've just kept going. And silver's on the up right now, so we'll see what it does. Copper, I think at some point copper will become a hot commodity again too, but for the time being. And then Bitcoin, well, it's pointed up, but it's still not doing a whole lot over there in Bitcoin. Okay, so that's all of that. So I think what I want to do today is I want to get the stocks up, and then I want to try and fix, or at least investigate the issues that we were having with the daily volatility levels and trying to put it on to the currencies. Oh man, I have a lot of tabs open here from yesterday. So I think the first thing is I should open it because I didn't even open it up. I did mess around with it a little bit yesterday on my laptop. And I think that the issue that we were seeing may be that it doesn't update to the latest version on your first opening of it. So I'm hoping here that we will not have to deal with that today. Okay. So we'll go back to layout 1. Yes, very good, very good. No, come on. Cooperate. Oh yeah, that's not bad. Now, another thing I found with this one is that they have these scanners that are pretty good. So let's look at these. mRNO. Okay. Seeing some stuff in NVDA. Ooh, NVIDIA is big. Intel. Okay. Whoa, what's going on? What did I miss? What did I miss, Why is Intel up so much? ASML shares go bananas after bookings bonanza and job cuts. So this Murano Global Investments, I'm not really, okay, whatever. ASML, right? Is that their ticker's just straight ASML? Yeah. They, ooh, there must have been some options right there. That big jump up and come back. I'm just gonna come check some of my other sources here in the browser. Yeah, United Healthcare really, really changed things yesterday, by the way. That was kind of the big one then. ASML is definitely the one. So then there's other lists too, though. You know, like top gainers. Whoa. That's 5%. What is GOAI? 358%? That is bonkers. What about the biggest losers? Oh, we want top percentage losers. EDC, never heard of them. No, we need to get like 30%. Yeah, it's not too bad. There's also like new 52-week highs and lows. That's also a real, I think it would be a really good one. Good ones to look at. So I think the best way to trade stocks is always take the ones every day where there's the most action. I do think that finding a good trending stock ticker is part of it. I joined the Discord, but I didn't find any activity. You know, to be honest, like this year, there hasn't been too much activity. But you know what you do is you just go into the channel and you just start saying stuff and asking questions, because there is a good number of people there actually, and you can stir up a conversation really quickly. And I probably should post the Bitcoin price oscillator thing. Now would be a good time to do that. But I've been really busy with a new job. That's kind of the rub. But I'm working on it. Okay, so first of all that's pretty good. Let's watch these ones for now. And we'll put them in the title. And then let's get over to the 6J thing. I just got too much to do. Because the big trend I've been seeing this week is a new project. They were calling it Claudebot with a W, but they renamed it to Mortbot, I think. And the unique thing about this AI companion, it runs locally. It saves information about your interactions with it, but you can also like plug it into your Discord or your Teams channel or whatever, and it reads and analyzes every message. So like I have seen at least 2 stories of CEOs of companies talking about using this thing and going asking it like, okay, is there anything going on that I should know about? Oh, hey, did you know that there's a really big argument on this team about this particular strategic direction or things like that? So like the bot is finding stuff to highlight to the CEO that they should do. And then the other thing that it does that's interesting is that it can message you, which is like one of the key features about like the movie Her that I've kind of been like is missing, is that the agent's constantly running there and then says, oh, I should send this to the user. And so now it kind of becomes like a chat message where it can initiate things. So this makes it more useful for us, essentially. I think that I could attach it into the YouTube chat. I could attach it into the Discord chat. And then we could also feed all of the scripts from our videos into it, because I've been doing those for a while in Markdown documents. And we could get an AI bot that's a lot more useful to the channel. So I want to do that too. But first, we got to fix the volatility thing, because I think that Uzi's onto something. Yeah, it works when you use ES as input, but it doesn't work with symbols that are different on bar chart than they are on NinjaTrader. Okay, so the first thing that we should check, if we come here, financial futures price, blah, 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 blah. Currencies, futures price. Japanese yen is what we want. Options quotes. J6M26. Okay, so now where is, I had a chart here. Yes, this one right here. So if I change this to, I just typed it in 6J, Japanese yen futures. Okay, so it's working because it's reading the ES volatility levels. But you're saying that it should actually be J6 in here. Okay. Oh, and then since I still haven't fixed that other issue, space F, 6J volatility right there, XD, right, refresh. Scraped volatility 11.2. Okay, well, but that is wrong. Where did it get that from? It's 6JH. Oh, well, why am I on 0326? Why is this one M26? So if I change, it says 6JM. If I change this to 6JH26, then I get 11.25. It works. You may have to clear the written out file first, yeah. Depending on the sequence of events of like how you added it, right? Because what I did there was I already had it on a chart and then I changed the symbol. A couple of interesting things about that, actually. So one is, if I change, so like if I'm doing MES, for instance, It shouldn't be writing out to MES volatility. It should be writing to ES volatility. So I think that it should use the, if you put in a name, it should use that name instead of the instrument name for the file. That's the first thing. Let's document this stuff in the script itself. Because if I put it in markdown documents, I might lose it. It's probably better to put it as close to what's going to be changed as possible. Let's see here. Where is it? Daily volatility levels. Okay. Where did I put it? Okay. And Boolean to turn off a month. Do not save default value. So if nothing's scraped, nothing is written in file. And then what was the other stuff? Felt like that there was another thing that we talked about that we should do, but no. I think that from here on out it should be good. You only have to, so the reason that you might have to clear it out, because basically what happened was we changed it to 6J. The main instrument is 6J, but I had it still as MES. So what it did was it went and it found the MES volatility, I think, or the ES volatility rather, and it wrote it into the 6J volatility file. So now the 6J volatility file has a volatility number in there that's wrong. And if I refresh, then it sees that there's already a cached value, so it doesn't look it up. So once I got the chart all set up and then I cleared the file out and then it says, oh, okay, I need to go look at it. Here's what I can find. Here, yada, yada, yada. It's all good, right? Can you put it on the, oh man, you should. I think so. If bar charts gives you DX, let's see here. If I come in here and I say DX H26, it does. Hey. Interesting. But that one's probably not going to work because we would need it to write into DX and it's going to write it into like whatever your main chart is. So like if you have it like on 6J and then you have a DX subchart and then you try and put it on DX too, it's still just going to use the 6J volatility. So, but we can fix that part really quickly. Because pretty sure that we have a generate amp. If, let's see here, where's this bit over here? The fix that we made the other day. Right here. Okay. Specify instruments. Yep, we have to add an if statement for it to change the file to write if the user uses a specified instrument option, which also means that after this change, the file will be called J6 instead of 6J, right? Because you're specifying it in the file. Let me just add this other stuff. I don't think that this should be a Ninja script properly. So how does that work on bar charts for like, so let's look up ASML. ASML holdings. Yeah. Then you don't want to add the month. So. Wow. What's the implied volatility of ASML is 93.51%? What? What? It only moved 10%. Come on. Yeah, that is pretty wild. That is pretty wild. Okay, anyways. You know what? I can minimize this. Yeah, so that we can see what's going on with the stocks. Let's see here. Oh, by the way. Aha. You know what might be the problem? Is maybe it's the time zone. Is there a time zone? There's not. Oh man, this platform is super new. You know what, Fidelity? You should have hired me. You know what? I actually did apply for some jobs at Fidelity, but they didn't have anything to do with their GUI. And I seem to vaguely remember something about it. No, I don't know. I don't know, but you should have hired me to do this. I would have given you a better. Let's see here. That if statement should also make it so you can use multiple instances of the indicator on one chart and get yes, it would. That's man. See, this is why we need you so much. Is you have those are so many clever ideas to use this. I didn't even think about. Let's add volatility of multiple instruments on there. I guess you're probably thinking of it as I want to have the 6J and I want to have the DX, huh? But I digress. Auto add month. Ah, yes, okay. Need to set it up here. Auto add month default true. And down in here, I'm about as real world testing as, yeah. So I'm adding this part. Come to a piece of code where there's a couple of different ways of doing it. And I'm trying to think about what would be the most, a sustainable way of doing it. I want people to come in and my employees in the future when we become super famous and I pay people to come and look at this stuff. And they look at that and be all confused about what it's doing. Can't even freaking remember what we called it now. error here in case this ever happens. Okay. Just did that. Check it. Yeah. Yep, that's correct. So right here, I'm going to, when I refresh this, it's going to make a new file. Very good. And do I find the file? J6 volatility. Yes, I do. Sweet, I'm not incapable. No, yeah. I've found that the code that you write works just fine. Like, the difference between my code and your code is going to be more if you continually add things to it, you know, in a year, it's going to be like a real pain to add features to it. Whereas with the way that I do things, it's pretty sustainable. So when somebody else is going through the code like yourself, it should be relatively easy to figure out where you need to make the change and what change to make. Yeah, you know more about memory usage and stuff, obviously. Yes, although that's not too particularly pertinent on this one. More pertinent if we're doing the drawing stuff. I will say though that this one, there are some things in this one. It's not like a complicated algorithm that you can't wrap your head around or anything like that. But there's just a lot of tedious things in this indicator, isn't there? Okay, so I got the add boolean to turn off auto adding month part. Now I've got to figure out how does this sort out. New concepts for me, honestly, when it comes to my knowledge of coding. It's all born out of curiosity during my Grail phase, so I don't find Grail, obviously, but I have a baseline knowledge of coding out of it. The weird thing about it, to me, is that this is something that I have always thought I was good at. That my code tended to be pristine, and other people could come in and change it very, very easily. And I could explain to them where in the code they need to do things very easily. And this was just like something that I noticed in school, that like when I was doing assignments and like the abstractions that people would choose to use and on assignments sometimes like just made no sense and were like a complete mess. But maybe I'm delusional. Maybe I'm not actually as good at it as I think I am. But if I am actually good at it, I don't really understand why. It was not something where it was like, oh, well, you need to do this, 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 and this, and here's like a little 5-step process that you can use to ensure that your code is always, you know, extendable and readable and all that sort of thing. do it. It's just like it's an intuitive thing I've developed. Part of it maybe also comes down to just knowing C# really, really well and knowing some of the little tricks that you can use that kind of help you out there. Although, again, on this particular indicator, I'm not using it too much. You know, it's just these things like for instance, in our indicator, I have these log output lines. So I think there was some outputs that maybe came from you. And I think you gave me something, and then I was like, oh, yeah, okay, let's use this one. In it. But you should use the log output, and then you can change. So actually, that was another thing I was going to tell you, was in here, in the indicator, by default, log output is set to none. So it won't tell you anything. But if you're having problems, you should set it to like debug or verbose, and it will tell you more stuff. And it might have told you, I think that in with the issue that you were having, that it might have even told you like, I was unable to scrape. Here's what I was trying to scrape. You know, they'll tell you like the URL that it tries to go to and stuff. You know, it's things like that. It's again, something that always bothers me is when I'm sitting here and I'm like, man, I am so fucking smart. Like, why is it NinjaTrader should hire me? I should do all their, I would make so many great changes to their code base and everything and make it better. Like, I think I could make within a month a number of really significant improvements to their indicators and stuff, right? But it's just like, when you think those sorts of things, usually it's a delusion. Usually that's a delusion. But these days I feel like that more and more and more. Hey, Fidelity, you should have hired me. I would have told you that you should probably be able to specify the time zone in here. I think that the reason why my chart is not updating correctly, well, if I refresh, it should, yeah, now it comes to, but see, it's showing it in Eastern time, and my local time is 7, and I'm pretty sure it didn't do that on my Mac machine. So I think that maybe the issue why the chart doesn't update is because of a time zone issue. Because, what about these? No. Because when I did it on my Mac, I didn't have any problems with them updating. Or maybe it's because it's the extended session. So for the yesterday, we did have it after it started. And I should be seeing, like, right there, it's like 191.56. This should be changing. And it's not. So there's something wrong with my desktop fidelity. Anyways. So here's where it says that we didn't get the data. Hmm. doesn't apply to the synthetic dollar index itself correctly. It definitely scrapes the data, but I think it doesn't catch the indicator. Oh, right. Oh no, I can fix that too. Okay. Yeah, no, just from looking here, because I just happened to be at the right spot. So the reason is because I use the actual open, and if you're putting it on another indicator, then of course that's not. But is the open is not necessarily equal to input. So what does it set the open to? Does it set the open to like 0? Let's ask ChatGPT. It'll also draw the text in the main chart window. Oh wait, I draw text in this indicator? Oh, actually I do, yeah. Oh, now I don't know how to fix that part. That will be hard. That'll be harder. I'm pretty sure that it can be fixed, but I don't know how. I don't know what the solution is off the top of my head. I have to do a little research. ChatGPT is actually, I asked it the question, and I'm surprised at how good ChatGPT has gotten at NinjaTrader stuff. I think some of the stuff that it's just telling me might still be wrong, but Yeah. Oh, we're gonna fix it. I haven't changed anything over here yet. Have I? Oh, just removing the do not save default value part. I don't know how that's happening. That shouldn't happen. If it doesn't find the volatility, it just doesn't save anything. It moves on. Anyways. Interesting. So let's see here. What was the name of what's our... Oh yeah, synthetic dollar index. Yeah. This is interesting. This is very, very interesting. So like in the dollar index, I add a bunch of data series to have open, high, low, close so that you can get candles on the synthetic dollar index. But I can't necessarily make my daily volatility levels look for that series. Like, I guess I could make it, if it detects the synthetic dollar index specifically, it looks for it. But if I want to get the open, oh, this gets so interesting. Okay, we're gonna have to get creative to fix this. You're trying to make an indicator that is structurally polymorphic. Yeah. Mm-hmm. This is the missing abstraction. The way that it talks about things sometimes is so funny. I think it's onto something here, though. I'm thinking of trading the confluence of NQ over 26,250. Oh, okay. I don't know what you mean by confluence, but you're asking. I missed the first part. I like asking AI silly ways to vague questions about trading or trades and seeing the odd responses. Ask your AI this and let's see what it says. I'm thinking of trading confluence of NQ over 26,250. What kind of price action should I look for? Oh, geez. Yeah, that will that's so funny. That's so funny because I was kind of like, this seems kind of word salady. I not the sort of thing that APOL would say. I was like so confused. He wouldn't say that unless he was really talking about something real. And we have to ask it to Ninja Trader. Or we have to ask it to ChatGPT, rather. Got it. You're thinking context plus flow first and not draw line and pray. If NQ is over 26,250 is your confluence level, here's how I'd frame the right kind of price action to green light it. First, how price gets to 26,250 matters. Before you even think about breakout versus fade, ask a bullish approach. You want to see acceptance above prior view out value, shadow pullbacks, bid holding on dips, pace increases into the level. This says someone wants inventory higher. Slow crawl up on declining value, delta diverging, price up, delta flat down would be, these are red flags. Lots of stop run wicks with no follow through. Classic retail breakout. 8. At 26,250, what good price action looks like. You're not looking for candles, you're looking for behavior. Best case, acceptance, continuation. This is a dream setup. Clean push through 26,250. Very little time spent inside the level. Pullback that holds above 26,250. Pullback delta stays neutral to positive. Tells you stops are used, but real buying absorbed it. Entry is often on the first higher low above that level, not the breakout. Tick. Second best absorption, then resolve. It does look like it is like genuinely trying to combine order flow with price actions stuff. What cumulative delta should be doing. Yeah. The funny thing is that ChatGPT has so much memory of me talking to it about order flow stuff while making videos, and specifically like the research that it sticks to pretty good. All right, so here's what I'm going to tell it now. Well, you have a lot of suggestions in there that I don't think are really backed up by the research. Can you look at all of your assumptions and determine which ones are legit and which ones should be questioned based on peer-reviewed research? It went a little bit too general. Yeah, wasn't helpful. Anyways, back to this. Hmm. Yeah. That's what I was kind of thinking about doing. It's kind of funny. It told me in the beginning, like, oh, you don't want to do a if this situation, that situation sort of a thing. But then after I started telling him what we were trying to do, I was at basically it came to the conclusion that actually, yes, that is what you want to do. Yep, it's giving me some code here that's wrong. Like it's saying open series equals opens, but if open series is a series itself, then that's not going to work. Add some info here. Are we past the open now, by the way? Well, that's interesting. So, like, when I refreshed it, it stuck for, like, a second. It like, updated for a second and then died. Intel is up. gets even more complicated, huh? But maybe that's just because I need to change this. Yeah. Okay. Guess what? Another blip of trade ovate, and some more are down and locking people in out of trades right now. Seems the people who trade on TradingView also can't trade right now. Really? Well, that is fascinating. It's always the cloud platforms, isn't it? Why is it always the cloud platforms? I wonder. NinjaTrader does not give you a parent indicator object. Only gives you input. Hmm. Oh, jeez. That's a weird idea. So it's saying, you could specifically tie those two indicators together, which in our case might make sense. Hmm. Like what it's saying is, you could say inside of daily volatility levels, there's a boolean that says dollar index, and if dollar index is true, then it adds the dollar index to the chart and then attaches it to itself that way. This is the hard edge of Ninja Trader. That's us. Okay, so compromise for now, though. This won't be perfect because what it will do is it if you're adding it to the dollar index, the opening price will be like the close of that bar, I think. But it's the best we can do without adding like a ton of infrastructure kind of stuff. Should be doing this in Helix. It would be so much faster. Now seeing people who are getting stressed from being stuck in trades. Well, luckily the S&P 500 isn't doing anything too crazy at the moment. Dude, what could cause that? Well, what do you mean by it's locking people in and out of trades? Like, that mean the platform is still working, but like entering and exiting trades doesn't work, or just like they're locked, like the platform is just broken? Okay, Uzi says, notice how terrible bond volatility. Yeah, I mean, it's been the thing for a while, right? Been the thing for a while now. By the way, it says 502. That means it's wrong, right? Seems like the platform is kind of working, but not allowing trades. Ugh, that's scary. Intel is moving up, man. Jeez. That's not right. Did I break something? No, it seemed to work. Oh wait, I did this part, right? Okay, it says the open is 111,250, which looks correct to me. Yes. When it doesn't scrape correctly, it doesn't write. It doesn't write into the cache. So how is it? How is it happening? Let's try it. Oh, actually, we don't want that. We want another daily volatility levels. We want it to say instrument DX. And then in data series, we're going to add synthetic dollar index. So we'll do candles and all that. Okay. Okay. I think that worked. DX was 5.46 and J6 oops 11.25. Okay, so it's scraping both of them correctly. But when I do that, it doesn't add the synthetic dollar index that I just added on there. So I think that to make that work, that actually what you have to do is add the synthetic dollar index itself on here, right? And then take the one series and drag it down here. Except for that, that's the wrong one, isn't it? That looks right to me. But wait, why are these ones? That's not right. Why is it getting the open all the way up here? Did I pull the right one? No, I didn't. I didn't pull the right one. Okay, so why is the open that it's getting? So debug. Loaded file. Okay, so that piece of code did not work is what's happening there. Because it is still attached to a chart, I think. Yeah, it's not using the synthetic dollar index value. Even though I thought I fixed that, my solution did not work is basically what we're discovering. So another solution is we could tell it use input. Maybe I can't. Well, let's search for. Check input type. Inspect input. Within, well, so hold on. Input dot. What is this? Those are just the standard C# types. No. Okay, well, I'm running out of time, so I'm just going to do this hack. Indicators. Oops. Come on, there we go. Use input. Okay. Come on. That still didn't do it, huh? Okay, well, so for some reason that doesn't work. I'll have to debug it. I don't want to mess up your schedule. It's funny. I think that it probably is using this thing, but maybe input is the same thing as open, and it's still getting input as the main price series because synthetic dollar index doesn't set the input. Probably. Because I don't have on this. Yeah. I don't actually set a data series in the synthetic dollar index, so I think it's actually an issue of the dollar index. So if I add a series, which is like a close, and then it could use that. Because if I come into this and I go indicators and we pull up this one, and then we're doing the dollar index, right? But then in here, I should be able to select the series, input series. Well, oh, maybe I can do an open. Yeah. But it's not going to get, it's the input series is, oh, no. This is the open of, no. That's the indicator itself. But like what is the output of this one is it's using? It's not, right? If I was using something like our inventory cost basis, I should be able to pick the plot. Yeah. Is that what it is? Yeah, I think so. So, because there's no data series, right? Or if I just come to indicators and I try and put it on a simple moving average. No, actually, maybe not. Or no, how about Bollinger Bands? Yeah, that's got multiple series, right? Yeah, then you pick which one. Okay, so, oh, but maybe I can add those plots in there and just make them transparent in the synthetic dollar index, and then it can use the open, and then it fixes all of that. But I have to fix the synthetic dollar index, not the indicator. So, cancel. I will give you that for now. Hopefully there's not some strange bug in there that screws it up. And we still don't know what the bug is that causes it to write wrong. But should help a little bit. Let's check here. It looks like ASML kind of took a dive in the end. And back to unchanged. Intel's still holding though. It's very interesting. All right, guys. Yeah. I'll be in chat for the Federal Reserve meeting. So in the I'll be, you know, somebody was saying, oh, there's not much activity, but in the $3 Discord, I will definitely be chatting in the general channel there about the FOMC. So in the meantime, stay excellent.